Module Overview. This final module is arguably one of the most complex and intellectually demanding areas of business management. It examines two interrelated themes: the business environment, the dynamic context in which businesses operate, consisting of external and internal factors that affect decisions, performance, growth, and survival. Business ethics, the philosophical, legal, moral, and practical principles guiding the conduct of individuals and organizations in business. In this module, we go far beyond simplistic definitions. We explore how the macroeconomic and microeconomic forces, government regulations, technological disruptions, societal expectations, globalization, and environmental concerns shape business conduct. We also critically analyze the need for ethical leadership, corporate responsibility, stakeholder theory, and sustainable capitalism. The modern business leader must not only adapt to external environments, but must also lead with integrity in a world that increasingly demands accountability, fairness, and justice. What is the business environment? The business environment is the totality of external and internal forces that affect an organization's operations, growth, and strategy. It includes political and legal structures, economic conditions, social and cultural dynamics, technological advancements, environmental factors, internal organizational elements. These elements do not operate in isolation. They interact and influence each other, creating complex opportunities and threats that require strategic awareness and flexibility. Classification of the business environment. Internal environment, micro-internal forces. These are controllable factors within the organization, such as employees, management structure, corporate culture, physical resources, mission and vision, organizational policies. 2. External environment, macro forces. These are uncontrollable external forces that influence the business. In this course, we will be using external environment and description for our table. 1. Political legal. Laws, policies, trade regulations, political stability. 2nd, economic. Inflation, interest rates, GDP, unemployment, taxation. 3rd, sociocultural. Demographics, lifestyle, education, societal values. 4. Technological innovation, automation, AI, digital platforms. Environmental, ecological, climate change, resource scarcity, sustainability. 5. Global international trade, exchange rates, geopolitical tensions. Dynamic nature of the business environment. The business environment is not static. It evolves with time. Strategic managers use environmental scanning, trend analysis, and scenario planning to identify threats early, capitalize on opportunities, forecast changes, remain competitive. A powerful tool for analyzing the external environment. In this course, we will be using PESTEL element and focus in our table today. 1. P. Political. Government policies, regulations, trade laws. 2. E. Economic. Inflation, recession, interest rates, taxation. 3. S. Social culture, age distribution, consumer behavior. 4. T. Technological R&D, innovation, obsolescence risk. 5. E. Environmental, green policies, carbon footprints, waste management. 6. L. Legal employment laws, health and safety, IP laws. 7. PESTEL helps businesses strategically adapt and anticipate. Porter's 5 forces. Industry environment analysis. Michael Porter's model analyzes the competitive forces within an industry. Threat of new entrants. Bargaining power of suppliers. Bargaining power of customers. Threat of substitutes. Industry rivalry. This helps in assessing industry attractiveness and strategic positioning. Globalization and its impact. Globalization has expanded business beyond borders, but also introduced fierce competition, regulatory complexity, cultural sensitivity, exchange rate volatility, global supply chain management. Business leaders must become globally literate and culturally competent. Business ethics. Definition and scope. Definition. Business ethics refers to moral principles and standards that govern behavior in the world of commerce. It determines what is right or wrong, fair or unfair, just or unjust in business conduct. Importance of business ethics. Builds trust with stakeholders, reduces legal risks and liabilities, enhances brand image, attracts ethical investors, promotes employee morale, ensures long-term profitability, prevents exploitation and corruption. Major ethical issues in business. In this course, we will be using category and examples in our table. 1. Corporate fraud, accounting manipulation, insider trading. 2. Discrimination, race, gender, religion-based injustice. 3. Environmental harm, pollution, unsustainable extraction. 4. Consumer exploitation, misleading ads, unsafe products. 5. Bribery and corruption, kickbacks, political favors. 6. Labor exploitation, child labor, unfair wages. Ethical conduct is not optional, it is a strategic imperative. Theories of business ethics. In this course, we will be using theory and summary in our table. 1. Utilitarianism. Actions are right if they benefit the majority. 2. Deontology. Morality is based on duty and rules, not outcomes. Virtue ethics focuses on moral character and integrity. 3rd stakeholder theory. A business must serve all its stakeholders fairly. 4. Feminist ethics. Emphasizes relationships, care, and social justice. These theories guide ethical decision-making in real-world scenarios. Corporate social responsibility, CSR. CSR is the practice of companies taking responsibility for their social and environmental impacts. Dimensions of CSR, environmental stewardship, ethical labor practices, philanthropy and community support, responsible governance, transparency and accountability. CSR is no longer a public relations gimmick, but a corporate survival strategy. Ethics and corporate governance. Corporate governance ensures transparency, accountability, fairness, and integrity in how companies are directed. Strong governance prevents financial misreporting, CEO abuse of power, shareholder marginalization, boardroom manipulation. It enforces ethical checks and balances across the hierarchy. Ethics in leadership and decision-making. Ethical leaders set the tone from the top, make values-driven decisions, encourage whistleblowing, establish ethical codes of conduct, inspire trust and loyalty. In a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, ethical leadership is a competitive asset. Sustainable development and environmental ethics. Today's businesses face intense pressure to reduce carbon footprints, transition to circular economies, respect biodiversity, adopt green technologies. Environmental ethics demands businesses act as stewards of the planet, not just profit seekers. Legal and ethical compliance. In this course, we will be using compliance type and description in our table. 1. Legal compliance, obeying the law, minimum requirement. 2. Ethical compliance, doing what is morally right beyond law. 3. Voluntary standards, ISO, GRI, SDGs, ESG policies. Failing to comply leads to reputation damage, fines, and legal battles. Module summary. The business environment is a multi-layered ecosystem, constantly reshaped by political, economic, technological, and cultural shifts. Strategic managers must continuously scan, interpret, and respond to these changes. Meanwhile, ethics acts as a compass, guiding the firm toward fairness, sustainability, and legitimacy. Business excellence is no longer defined solely by profit, but by purpose, principle, and public value. Leaders who ignore the environment or ethics risk irrelevance, legal trouble, or societal backlash.